If you look up the word price manipulation in the dictionary, we're going to see this chart over here, the chart of Siren. Now, just because something is manipulated does not mean we can't make money from it. Far from it, actually. Because those massive price moves of temporary increases of almost 2000% with subsequent crashes of more than 94%, they are potential opportunities. And in this video, we are going to discuss what those opportunities are. Now, as if the chart wouldn't already state the obvious, we of course have whale manipulation here. The news talk about it, that's both for the crash, but that's also related to the rallies. Hi, my name is Gerhard. I've been in the crypto space for the last 8 years. I had my first million 3 years ago. In this video, we're going to discuss how to outperform just buying and holding regular Bitcoin. My track record is in the link down below. I've been live publishing my trades in the last 2 years. We are currently, if you account for the open positions, at an all-time high. And this chart equates to an annualized performance of 47%. The current positions are of course not here in the YouTube video, but all the closed positions, they can be seen directly on the website. I don't know anybody else in crypto that's willing to be that transparent. Now, what we see over here, that's the Siren price relative to the altcoin market cap. We have just crashed down again. And the question is, are we going to see a repetition of the pump? So maybe more than 1000%, something we have seen several times in the past. By the way, if you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, then feel free to also check out the account of this channel. I publish various points on cryptocurrency regularly over here. Make sure that you do follow the right account though. So that's at Bitcoin Strat. Don't follow any impersonator. Don't follow any scammer. Now, there's no problem with tokenomics of Siren, as in there's no inflating supply. We've got a maximum supply of 1 billion. Of that, 27.5% got burned. And so the remaining 700 million tokens, roughly, they are now the ones that get actively traded. Yes, we could have a look at the project's fundamentals as well, as in Siren AI generates trading signals. It also has a data API that feeds a terminal. But all of that does not matter for the price development. What actually matters is that a whale has control over almost all the tokens. And he entered the Siren token at an average price of 4.5 cents. Now, currently, we are at 6.6 cents. Now, this is useful information because it gives us a quite solid lower price floor. Because if the whale makes most of the price movements and then the price gets closer and closer to that 4.5 cents, then probably the selling pressure will ease. Or in other words, there's maybe a maximum decline from here of roughly 30%. And that stands in relation to a potential gain of more than 1000%. That's a potential gamble here, right? Just a gamble that the price will get manipulated yet again. We don't know if it will, the price could go to zero, but probably the decline will already stop at minus 30%. Let's have a look at the on-chain data. So we've got 64,508 holders on the Binance Smart Chain of that Siren token. But have a look at the number of holders over time. On the left side, we see the number of wallets with at least 9,000 Siren tokens. So that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. In the middle, it's $10,000 worth of the token. On the right, it's $100,000 worth of the token. The number of such wallets moves very erratically. In other words, there's no organic movement at all. This is, again, one or just a few entities that push the price around, that push the supply around. Clearly, it makes no sense that there's more than 300 wallets with $100,000 worth of the Siren token to then see that crashing down to only 19 wallets in a matter of a day. So what's really fundamentally happening here? On the spot market, we had 8 million worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours. On the Perpetual futures market, we had 35 million worth of trading volume. So more trading volume on the perps, and the funding rate is fluctuating quite a bit based on the price. And it is currently very positive. So there are multiple people betting on a potential bull case manipulation again. What's also noteworthy is that especially the volatility in March, that created most liquidations. And that was on the short side, not on the long side. In other words, people were betting already on the Siren price to go down on the 21st of March. And then came another short squeeze on the 22nd. And that caused all of those liquidations. So the price is taking the direction of maximum pain. And yes, trading volume is rather low right now. And there is, again, positive correlation between trading volume and the price. The more attention there is on the token, the higher the trading volume on the perpetual futures. And of course, the higher also the spot price tends to move. What's fascinating is that open interest has not yet collapsed. So the price went down massively, but the number of bets on that price did not go down as much. In other words, I expect that there is going to be more volatility in the not so distant future. The price will likely break out in one direction. And again, given the average purchase price of that whale, if it was to break out to the lower side, we'd probably just go back to the prices at the beginning of the year. So something like this is entirely possible. First, dump the price to liquidate all of the longs and then pump it back up to liquidate all the shorts. In other words, any bet that we now might make on the Siren price has to be done with little leverage, or alternatively with a lot of leverage and then a very tight stop loss. We have to work with limit orders here. In other words, those elevated prices, they also don't last forever. If you're betting long, so we bet on rising prices of Siren, we should already have our sell order set in the system so that we automatically take profit. Because if we wick up and then wick down again, those profits get locked in instantly. So yeah, if you want to follow my trades in real time, then feel free to check out the premium membership. Again, every single trade is locked here. You can get those signals either via Telegram or via email. And if you don't like premium, you can always get your money back within the first week. So there is a 7-day money back guarantee. Just email me over here and I'll refund you, no questions asked. You can either pay via credit card or there's also payment via crypto. So for that, here is my Telegram handle. Just reach out and we organize the rest. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time here on YouTube or see you on Premium. Link to that pops up here on the screen. See you next time. Cheers.